Well, hello there and welcome back to a brand new video, where today's video, guys, is super exciting because we have the PlayStation 5 Pro. Yes, that is right. We have the PS5 Pro here, ladies and gentlemen. Just take a look at this. This is simply amazing. We have done multiple, when I say multiple, we have done many videos talking about the PS5 Pro here. We've done a lot of videos about whether or not it's a good deal, whether or not you should buy it or not, and the controversy around the ideas that they brought out this kind of 30th anniversary edition. There was limited stock, limited units, and unfortunately I did try to buy one of those, but I was out of luck. However, the next best thing is the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, it's actually done pretty well in sales, apparently. Apparently Sony have said the PS5 Pro have sold well. They've priced it right. I know we did a few videos saying that this guy is pretty damn expensive. However, a lot of people are buying it, and if people buy it, then Sony are not going to adjust the price at all, right? If no one bought this, then obviously people would be like, yeah, maybe at Sony we should reduce the price. And we have seen we've had history with Sony. I haven't had history with Sony as well. I've had quite a good experience with them, I should say. But we've seen history over the years with Sony, like the PS3 60GB model, if you remember that, with the 4 USB ports, the one I have upstairs, which is backwards compatible. If you remember that console, that used to sell for £450 back in the day, what, in 2010? No, 2006, 2007, around then. And they actually made like a huge amount of loss of money every time they sold that console. Hence why they brought out the newer versions with only 2 USB sticks, 2 USB ports, and no backwards compatibility and all that stuff. But anyway, today is not about the PS3 60GB model. It is about the PlayStation 5 Pro, which we have here, which is honestly just amazing. So the first thing to point out, if you guys remember my PS5 unboxing video, is it no longer says 8K on the box. It says 4K, 120 FPS. Where's the 8K gone, Sony? I mean, it used to say 8K on the PS5 box. They've also removed it on that box as well. But it was meant to be like this console is capable of 8K. But what do we actually have on the front here to quickly show you? So all we have here is we have 4K 120 HDR. It is a disc-free console, I'm afraid. So yeah, the PS5 Pro doesn't come with a disc drive. You have to buy it separately. Got to be 7 age plus. I think this is because Astro is pre-installed on the game. On the console, hence why there is a PGL 7. But this is the front of the box. Pretty cool. The side, not too much to offer. I think on the side, all it says here on the side is actually what it comes with. So we have the PS5 Pro console, we have the DualSense wireless controller, we have 2 Horizon stand feet, HDMI cable, power cord, USB cable, printed materials, and Astro Playroom pre-installed. Which is really cool to see. And plus as well, there's that new Astro game which just came out. When I say just came out a few months ago, and apparently that game is fantastic. So let me know in the comments if we should unbox it. Unbox the game, buy the game. We could do an unboxing, but I think it's digital only. Actually no, you can now, but I think that's like the next version. Because like Astro Playroom is kind of like the equivalent of like Little Big Planet. Because I was a big fan of Little Big Planet, but I was sad to hear the other day that Little Big Planet is being retired from the PlayStation store. So hopefully, I got quite a few physical copies. So hopefully the physical copies will go through the roof in terms of money. We'll see about that. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the back. So what we have here is we have obviously the console itself. We have the controller. Witness Play Unleashed. So it says, obviously it's giving us some key stats about the new console. So we've got advanced ray tracing, experience next level realism with ray trace reflections, shadows, and high quality global illuminations as you explore stunning game worlds. Optimize console performance, so reach higher and more consistent frame rates for silky smooth gameplay with support for a VRR, as well as 60Hz and 120Hz displays. What it says here on the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, so everyone's been calling this the PSSR. So we get super sharp image clarity
on your 4K TV using AI enhanced resolutions for ultra high definition play with astonishing detail. So a lot of people are getting the PS5 Pro mainly for this. Maybe a little bit around 120 FPS. I mean, I don't know who's really playing that much, but I think the main reasons is advanced ray tracing as well as the PSSR. I think that's one of the reasons why everyone is looking to buy a PS5 Pro. Now, apart from that, there isn't anything else on the box. Like I said, got the side in terms of what the console looks like. This is obviously the front of the box. This is obviously the side. But anyway, without further ado, I have my wonderful, trusty IKEA services, what was it? Scissors. So anyway, so let's do a little bit of ASMR here. Oh, so good. Anyway, let's go and open this up. Ta-da! Right, so nothing magical here yet. This is essentially what it is, standard PlayStation box, but like we've seen before. I've never opened a PS5 console without a disc drive before, so that will be interesting. But anyway, let's go and open this up without damaging it in any way. They never make it easy. I mean, how are you meant to like actually pull this out? Like, I wish there was like tabs, you know? But instead I've got to try and get this in and slide out at the same time. So we'll do it with one hand. Ooh. This is why you go to the gym, is so you can unbox the PS5 Pro. But anyway, here we have the PS5 Pro in its glory. What is interesting, it didn't sell out straight away. I think everyone wanted the 30th anniversary edition, like me, but then you got to settle for the PS5 Pro, which I'm not complaining about. I mean, I'm grateful, but at the same time, it's like, damn, really want the 30th anniversary edition. I was gonna say something about like dating. It's like trying to go, you know that meme where it's like the girl you really want, but actually like they look elsewhere. Like, I don't know, what's that meme again? I don't know. You guys probably know what that means. I'll try and remember that meme and put it up somewhere. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of this. Like, I really want the 30th anniversary edition, but I'm kind of settling for this. But I'm not settling because I would be settling if I just got the PS5. But this is the PS5 Pro, and I'm super excited for this and super grateful for this opportunity to be able to have a PS5 Pro, which is simply amazing. Just wish it was the 30th anniversary, but you never know, maybe one day we will be able to get that. But anyway, so this is the front of the box here. Nothing too crazy here, just the PS5 logo. So let's just do this. Oh, and let's go and open you up. Oh my goodness, okay. We are greeted, are you ready? I can't believe we have the power cable. So here is the power cable. It looks pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed by the power cable. And then we have these like two compartments up the top here, which is pretty amazing. So what we have is, which one should we go for? Box 1 or box 2? Let's go with let's do box 2, because you know, 2's my favorite number, so let's go with box 2. Right, in door number 2, it's like Christmas, we have a HDMI cable. Yes, that is right, we have a HDMI cable. It's still silver plated. Like, I'm a big fan of gold plated. In my head I've always said gold plated is better than silver plated. Is that a myth? I don't know. Why would you sell gold plated? Is it because it's a fashion sense? I don't know. But I really like gold. I just feel like gold looks a bit more premium. But we have a HDMI cable. We then also have our USB-C cable, which is for charging our controller, which is very nice. In this box here, I bet you it's the controller. Yes, it is. So we have the controller here. I don't know, I can't remember. Is there a update between this controller and the previous one? I don't think there is. I know there's like a new Pro controller, but let me just give this a little feel with ASMR. Woo! Okay, so the controller feels the same. I think it is still the same DualSense controller from the PS5. I don't think there's anything like different here. But it's nice. It's nice to have a clean white controller. Unfortunately, my PS5 controller, as always, when you play like any like FPS game and you get a little bit too excited, is the right analog stick for me has a little bit of stick drift. And what I mean by that is like it will be neutral like this, but in the game it just wants to move slowly but surely a little bit to the right.
Let me know in the comments how many of you guys have a bit of stick grip. Also, be careful. So, literally, took the controller out, and we have here the feet stand. So this is basically, we open this up, and it's a really nice packaging, by the way. We get two of these little feet. As you can see here, we've got these little feet, and basically what this is it allows you to slot in. And bearing in mind, doesn't look cheap, because there's a little like white thing up the top. Don't know if you guys can see that little white thing up the top. But essentially these feet go in, so you can like have it horizontal, so it doesn't like flop around. Because if you remember with the PS5, we had to have that like little bit of a stand, if you remember. So because the PS5 is kind of top heavy, so that's you know what? I would have loved to have been someone like a fly in the wall in the boardroom when they go, we don't want to change the design of the PS5. We want to keep it, but let's instead add some gimmicks like these little plastic things, so it works, you know. I just find it interesting. But anyway, so here we now have the exciting bit. This is the top of the box here. Now let's go and open this up. You ready? I'm excited. Right, okay, so this is like the main event now. If we look in here, we have, hopefully you guys can see, we just open this up. Oh, it's a little bit heavy, not too heavy, but you see in there, the PS5 Pro is inside. Okay, so first things first, let's pull out the manual. I mean, who actually reads the quick start guide? I mean, does anyone want the quick start guide? I mean, I'm happy to send it, and you can be like, yo man, and you get your friends and be like, yo man, I got a PS5 Pro. Right, let's go and open this up. We gotta be careful. Oh, there she is. There is nothing else inside the box. So we got pretty much all the content. Luckily, it's not IKEA. Like, you know when you buy something from IKEA, right? And you know, it's like 20 screws here, 20 plugs, whatever, and you sometimes are missing a piece. That's annoying. Luckily, I've had a pretty good success rate, but I've heard some great horror stories from friends missing stuff. And luckily, you don't hear any horror stories when it comes to consoles. I mean, we pretty much have everything. We have the power, we have the HDMI cable, we have the USB-C, we've got our little feet, we've got our controller, and now we have the one and only PS5 Pro, baby. Right. Does anyone else, by the way, like look at these and go, ooh, this reminds me of like when you were like going to the hospital and you know you had to like have medicine in them or something. Is that just me, or does anyone else also feel the same? Right, let's go and open you up. Ooh. Now, what I've seen online, like I said, I've never owned a digital console before, and might be tempted to get the disc drive because I'm a big disc guy. Like, you know, I don't mind digital games, and being a PlayStation Plus member, you know, you have access to 4 games a month. But for me, like, just having a disc is just special. I don't know. I just love the idea of having discs. Anyway, we have the PS5 Pro here. Well, it looks like we've got some more compliance. It's telling me my model number, the address, blah, blah, blah. So just some stuff like that. But anyway, here we go. It's Christmas time. It feels like Christmas time. Anyway, you guys ready? We're gonna open this together. Are you ready? Can you see it? I mean, I've seen pictures and I've been so impressed by it, and I just can't wait. You ready? Oh. Oh my goodness. I mean, this looks incredible. I mean, how cool does this look? I mean, this is honestly impressive. I mean, it's super lightweight. I think because it hasn't got the disc drive. But look at this. It just looks fantastic. Here is the PS5 Pro. I mean, this is where we put those feet, by the way. So we want it horizontal. We put the feet here, because if you try putting it horizontal like this, it kind of like basically it's not really top-sided, but it needs like some airflow. So you have these little feet which allows it to be like straight balanced. Does that make sense? But here is the front of the console, and obviously I'm used to having an extra button here for the disc drive. But what we have this time though is we have
a ultra-fast USB-C port, which is there. Then I think we have another USB-C, which is slightly slower, I think. I think that's the difference between the two there. But if you remember on the PS5, we had one USB-A and one USB-C. Now, obviously, everything's moving to USB-C. USB-C is faster as well, and it's becoming kind of the trend now, especially with Apple finally moving away from lightning cables to USB-C. So USB-C at the front, which is ideal. One button for turning it on, but nothing else. There's nothing else in here. There's nothing else here on the front. This is the top of the console. Looks incredible. Here is the bottom of the console, if you're curious. Now we move on to the back. I always feel like the back is underrated. That's what she said, but I absolutely love looking at the back of a PlayStation console. So what we have is we've obviously got our power. We then have two USB A ports, which I think they're USB 3.1 or USB 3, one of the two. I think 3.1 is when they're red. These look like standard USB 3, but they are SS, which is super speed, I believe. Is that what SS stands for? Super speed? I think I might be wrong or correct there. Let me know in the comments. We have our Ethernet port just there, and then we also have our HDMI out. Who remembers on the Xbox Series X, no, Xbox One, when it had like HDMI in and out because it wanted to be like a TV, like multimedia thing. That was pretty insane. But there we have it, guys. Here is the PS5 Pro. I mean, it looks, like I have to admit, it just looks unreal, doesn't it? Genuinely, it does. And I have to admit, I like the discless version. I like the idea of not having a disk drive. Now, if you're asking, Matt, where does the disk drive go if I were to buy one? So the disk drive essentially goes on top of this. So you can remove this plate. So you remove this plate and you can put this way back in the box. The disk drive, you actually get a new plate and you simply slot it in. Like Sony have made it so easy. There's no like cables or anything. You simply just slot it in and it knows there's a disk drive. Which is kind of remarkable, really. And then, like you said, you put the feet here. If you want it vertical, like you want it like this, you have to buy a separate stand. It doesn't actually come with the vertical stand. But there we have it, guys. We have the PS5 Pro here. Very, very happy with it. It looks incredible. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I really wanted the 30th anniversary edition. I think a lot of us did because it was a little bit more, but I think you got two controllers and like a few other things. And it was like the grey, like from the PlayStation 1 era, and it just looked fantastic. But I have to admit, the PS5 Pro just looks incredible. But anyway, guys, that has been the unboxing video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, then be sure to massive thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment what's regarding this. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, and as always, see you guys in my next video. Adios, chaps.